Sunrise. You're watching Sunrise live on It's Friday, the 9th of March. Now, this morning on our career slot, we focus on the importance of effective mentorship programs for small and medium enterprises and specifically for entrepreneurs. And we've invited Sharon Reed, the founder of Vuka Mentorship Programme, and Leratho Nhlapho, a student who benefited from this initiative. And as a result, she is now the managing director of a well-established company. You at home are most welcome to give us a call. How do you participate? How do you get involved? How do you benefit from this program? The number is 011-537-9333 or 9345. Ladies, thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited, especially when we're driving entrepreneurship. We know there's a skills shortage, there's job shortages, etc. So Vuka Mentorship, how did that come about?
I was working in the township areas of Itwatwa, and before that I was down in northern KwaZulu-Natal, and I was working predominantly with informal women. And I found that the same things kept coming up over and over again. We would work with small companies or survivalists, and as soon as we thought they were sustainable and we would move away, then they would not become sustainable because we had been doing all the work for them. So I started to document all the things that we were doing, and in parallel I was approached by Anglo-American Zamele to become a mentor. And over the year or so that I worked with them, I started to document what was going on there. And before I knew it, I had this structured program, and it allowed me to implement things and measure how I was implementing what I was doing, and that became the beginning of the Vuka Mentorship Program.
Yeah. When we say entrepreneurship, it's always such a daunting word. You think you have to come up with something that's never been done before, you need to be innovative and all sorts of pressures. Leratho, are you born an entrepreneur, or did Sharon have something to do with your result, or your outcome?
Well, I think, it's always been my aspiration to become an entrepreneur one day. But then I came into contact with Anglo Zamele, and then it was there that I met with Sharon. And then at the time when I met Sharon, the business was struggling. It was really, I didn't really have much of a direction. And then when I met Sharon, then she helped me change my mindset from working on a crisis management mode, to a more structured and strategic mode, and then and helped me develop the confidence in the product and the business as well, and for instance, how to set up meetings and actually appear, when I go to customers, have the confidence, because if you have the confidence, then the customers will then have the confidence.
But that's the thing. I think what makes or distinguishes the entrepreneurs that survive from the ones that fall out the race is exactly that. It's not from lack of trying necessarily. It's just finding somebody who hold your hand, guide you. How do you close the deal? Who do you need to speak to? Find that core decision-making circle.
No, I think it's more than that. We've actually proven that anybody can become an entrepreneur. There's a lot of talk that you have to have this big idea to become an entrepreneur. And what we've actually started to prove through the program is that entrepreneurs come of all different sizes. And South Africa, we all tend to be so hard on ourselves in South Africa, but South Africa is actually made up of millions of entrepreneurs. Nearly every man and woman in the street is an entrepreneur in some sense or the other. And what we started to realize through our own program is that if you just follow a form of structure and you take people through a journey, never mind where you start the journey, you can actually open up the doors for them to start thinking bigger than what they do. Because everybody has a skill. It doesn't matter whether it's a professional skill or an unqualified skill. It's still a skill that everybody has. And everybody has that opportunity to turn that skill into making money.
Yeah, I say you need to change the mind map or the paradigm. From the township, especially the spaza shop mentality, to almost owning your own retail store. You can start out with a department store or whichever way you go. What is also daunting for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially with women, is dealing with the issue of finances, the budgeting, the cost of sales, what goes into the product. What did you learn from a mentorship? And sorry, Leratho, before you answer, let's take a caller quickly. Liana in Soweto, good morning to you.
Hello, how are you, Cindy?
Well, thank you. What's your question?
Okay, I wanted to ask Sharon, what type of businesses do they assist? Because me and my friends started a clinic company, and we're struggling financially. Like we don't see us going anywhere because of the funds and things like that. So I wanted to ask if they assist businesses like that.
Okay, do you have clients yet?
We did have one client, and then we couldn't continue because of the finances, having to travel and things like that. Our business is fresh. We registered in December. We only started in December, but we're struggling to get funds and things like that.
What are you called?
Hello?
What's your company called?
Sibanda and Twala Cleaning Services.
Do you have a website?
No, not yet.
All right, stay on the line. Thanks, Liana.
Okay.
We mentor all companies. We're a business mentorship program, and we can take businesses through all levels of business, whether you're a startup business or an established business, or you're just looking to enter into a new market. Any one of our programs will take you through any aspect of the business. My suggestion is to the caller is that she drops us an email. She can go onto the website and drop us an email, and we can assist her to maybe point her in the right direction. Most people think that finance is the reason why businesses don't succeed. It's not actually the finance that is the problem.
Yeah.
It's actually the lack of presenting their business idea that is the problem. Finance is a solution to the problem. It's actually presenting your business idea and actually understanding what your business is going to deliver.
That's the thing, because you need to live the vision. You need to believe in it more than what the next person would. We were just talking about the criteria and what you learned in the mentorship program.
I just, first of all, you know, as an entrepreneur, I learned to, I needed to start having, looking at the bigger picture, having a vision, you know, not thinking in just today's terms, and looking at the bigger picture. I mean, Sharon would say to me, where do you see the business in 5 years' time? So I had to start thinking along those lines, you know, and then with that, then you start working strategically, start putting plans in place, you know, then you start doing your research and say, if this is the route that I want to go, then this is where I need to start. And then you start finding out things, and you start trying it out, and then you start speaking to people, you know, relevant people, that is.
Okay. We have more questions from our viewers on our Facebook page, and you at home can also go to facebook.com/ETV Sunrise. Stace is standing by at the newsroom, or in the newsroom rather. Hello, Stace.
Well, we're looking at our Facebook page, Cindy, and we said this morning in our career segment we focus on the importance of effective mentorship programs for small and medium enterprises. We were asking what your response to it is. Harry says, I think SMME is one of the best ways to fight poverty and unemployment. Can't wait to watch the show. So, Harry, I hope you're enjoying the slot. Valentine says, this is a good way of raising the profile of new enterprises. However, what are the gains for the mentor? Surely it doesn't make good business sense to raise your future competitor. Also, what incentives are on the table from the government? Edgar's continues. He says, how can one run a successful business in a township these days? Because every street corner is a business. And then Lebohang says, helping grow small businesses will make a huge difference for our economy, which is why government should subsidize these businesses in order for them to be able to expand. I think what's coming through as well is when you have a mentorship program, it's really working on the mind, your understanding of business, changing your mindset as well, Cindy. But the interesting question is, what's in it for the mentor?
Sharon is very excited. She says, I can answer all of those and she can't wait. Shoot away.
Well, the question that was asked there, what's in it for the mentor? The mentor, there's two things that's in it for the mentor. You know, if you're going to get into this kind of business and opportunity or initiative, it's got to be a passion that you want to do it. You're not going to go into this kind of business opportunity if you're not passionate about assisting people to better themselves. But there is the financial opportunity for mentoring, and that's also where the Vuka Mentorship Programme really plays an important role. Because we have a structured program, it means that mentors can use our program and are then trained to be mentored to be able to mentor other companies. And because the program is structured, they can then measure themselves on how successful they are being in mentoring these companies.
All right, ladies, stay with us. We're just going to take news, a quick spot break and news, and we'll come back with our discussion to talk about your unique selling point, what the product is all about, and what makes you stand out from the rest. We're speaking to Sharon Reed, founder of Vuka Mentorship Programme. Leratho Nhlapho is living testament that mentorship does work when it's well structured. And for more information, you can go to Vuka Mentorship, vukamentorship.co.za. Their website is vukamentorship.co.za. We'll be back after this with the latest news headlines. Stay with us. Thanks so much, Lina. We continue our chat about effective mentorship program. It's the Vuka Mentorship Program. You can go to their website. That's vukamentorship.co.za. Leratho Nhlapho benefited from this program and is now the MD of her own thriving business. We're talking about your unique selling points when it comes to the mineral water, the whole process, and how you got to know about this opportunity.
I actually approached Anglo-Zimele initially well, I had another business, so I actually approached them to be on the database as a supplier, but then nothing came out of that, but they kept my CV, and then a year later they phoned me and said they have this project, would I be interested in it? And they were specifically looking for someone to do sales and marketing. And that's when then I joined Anglo-Zimele. But at that time, it was just a business plan. There was no business, there was no product, there was nothing. And then so we started from scratch. And then we had this, then we developed the bottle. This is it's not a standard bottle. It's our own bottle, which we now blow ourselves. And then we've got this brand. And then we get this water. You asked how it's unique, how it differs from all the others. This is recycled water. It's water that comes from underground, from excess mining. When there's coal mining, there's excess water that comes from there. So and then Anglo Coal, BHP Bulletin, and Woodbank Town Council, they came together and they built a plant called Water Reclamation Plant. They take excess water from all the mines and then they purify it and it becomes potable water. And then
so sorry to interrupt you, Leratho. I mean, we're bombarded with calls. We can't even take them because of time constraints. But you need to be knowledgeable about the product. You need to know about all the processes, be hands-on as well, Sharon. It's important.
It's very important. Maybe what I can do, if I can just focus a little bit on how we added value to For Life Water. When I was introduced to Leratho, one of the biggest things that after we had met with her, because what we do when we go into companies, especially existing companies, we do a full assessment on the company. So we don't just go into the company blind and there's a never-ending piece of string. We actually assess the company and really gain the understanding of what needs to be done for that particular company. And what we identified for Life Water was that they hadn't structured how they were going to go about doing their sales. So they knew that they had to increase their sales, but there was no plan or no process in place. So over a period of 6 months, we worked with Leratho on a very intense basis where we assisted her to develop a very measurable sales plan where she could follow up with the companies that she was contacting and then show results. And even if it meant that we had to physically and sometimes hold her hand and take her to particular companies just to get her into the mindset of actually calling on these companies.
Ladies, I'm really afraid we're completely out of time, but it was really great having you. Wish you all the success, and I'm sure you'll be bombarded as well with a number of queries. Thanks indeed for coming in. We're speaking to Sharon Reed, founder of Vuka Mentorship Programme. Leratho Nhlapho is the living testament and proof that mentorship program, when well structured, can really work. You can go to www.vukamentorshipprogramme.co.za. That's vukamentorship.co.za. Stacey standing by with the latest sports update.